All right, in this video, we're going to talk about the next steps that we need to do. We already, as you can see, and as you saw in the previous videos, we already cleaned the point cloud. We only selected the kitchen area here. This you have to do yourself also. We exported this selected area and saved it into a format on our drive. You can also rename this anytime you like or delete it. And the next step is to cut out the roof from the entire point cloud that we currently have in our view. So let's do this together now. So the simplest way to cut out the roof is to make this view a vertical one. If you double click, then you will change your rotation center. So then your point cloud will rotate according to your point that you specified. All right, so how would I clean, or how would we clean out or cut out the roof? Let's make it as like vertical as possible. And we have many different options here. Okay, save this. I'm going to save it now. I can save it later. Then in the tools, we have many different options. We can clean using some filters. We can fit or point pick, okay? Or we can use the well-known cross-section function. All right, I will go with the cross-section function. You can also explore other functions that you would like. So this cross-section function will lower our points accordingly. So let's just see where our lamps are located. And then we can cut our point cloud. All right, take some time to load. Maybe we should change the coloring. But now we can do it with the black and white too. You can change the coloring at home and work with colorized point cloud. All right, so just drag down this blue arrow. All right. And once you have selected your point cloud, you have to slice it out. Use this export selection as a new cloud. Now we're exporting this as a new point cloud, and this will be our new selection, which is just the office area itself without the roof. As you can see, once this is saved, it takes around 6 seconds. We can close this window, and we have to deselect the previous one. Okay, so make sure you have this. I'm going to specify a new center point for rotation. Double click, and now we have our point cloud. I'm going to move this in the middle. As you can see, we could basically go a little bit more lower with the roof and just have the tables then. Yes, let's do one more clipping. So I'm going to use this point cloud because I don't like this grayish color. I'm going to change this to a different visualization style. I'm not going to use colored gray. I'm going to use blue, green, yellow, and red colors because I like this more a little bit. Now I need to cut this area somewhere between here. Okay, so what I'm doing is selecting again this cross section option, and I'm going to specify where to cut my point cloud. Just grab this arrow and clip it accordingly. Perfect. Slice it once more. Now a new point cloud will be exported into your database tree. And inside this database tree, then you can export each and every point cloud. Okay, this is finished. Took about 4 seconds. Now we deselect the previous one, and we only work with the last one that we cut out. All right, this is now the final point cloud, and from this point cloud we can basically cut out also the tables, which I'm going to present you next. Okay, as you have seen, we have cut out the roof, and now we're only left with the kitchen area. The next step is to find a table, one or two tables that we want to export and focus on, and calculate the diameter of the table, and then separate. And then at the end, we're going to export these results into their own separate LAS files, which we can then use whenever we want. Okay, one objective will be to measure the table diameter by just picking 2 points from the point cloud and getting the distance, and also maybe the radius. Another thing is to calculate the area of the table. I'm not going to show you this because I want to find the information yourself on the internet, and with the help you can get. So I'm just going to show you how to cut out the table with using some segmentation tools, and then you can do this calculate by area thing alone. Okay, and in the last part of the video, we're going to cut out the pipe from the point cloud, the pipe on the roof, and we're going to measure the length of the pipe by picking 2 points. And you will need to do the volume calculation at home if you want to. Okay, this process takes some time because you have to fit and find the right information and the right points to do the work, but you will learn a lot when you do this process alone. All right, so let's start with picking out the table from this point cloud. If we zoom in into your point cloud, I think I'm going to pick that table right here, as you can see, because it's not that shadowed as this one. So this one has a mistake because the shadow is around the table. So we will not have a perfect circle. All right, so how would I pick out the table? Well, we have different tools we can use. One would be to use this, not translate rotate, but segment tool. Okay, the scissor tools. We can click on the segment tool, and this segment tool will ask us what we want to segment out. Okay, this is pause the segmentation space, import polyline if we have already drawn a polyline to create a segmentation process, or create a selection. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select this table with a rectangle, and I'm going to choose this rectangle here, rectangular selection, and I'm just going to draw a simple rectangle here. Doesn't need to be too big. It needs to be big enough to capture the table. We have to be patient and slow because this is a computationally intensive process to find a polygon. You draw the rectangle with the left mouse. Okay, you click on one side and the other side of the rectangle, and when you're finished, you use the right click. Okay, to set the opposite corner. And once this is done, you click on this segment in tool, which means that it will take all the points that are inside the rectangle that you specified. Okay, so let's click on the segment in. Okay, there you have it. It's just a table with some chairs around it. Okay, we will remove the chairs later on. And I'm satisfied with this result. That's why I'm going to confirm my selection, confirm my segmentation. And this is now once again exported. So I have to deselect the previous point cloud, and I'm only left with my point cloud that I segmented now. Okay, so double click in the middle. Okay, to turn it around a little bit and just visualize what we have. Okay, the next step to do is to remove this chair, the ground, so that we only have this table. Okay, how to do that? We have to rotate the point cloud a little bit more, and then do the segmentation process once more. All right, so let's click on our table. and use the scissor tool, segment tool, and once again draw not a rectangle this time. We're going to do polygonal selection, where we're going to define our area with a polygon. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm not ready yet. I have to turn it in a logical sense that I will lose all my points. Okay, something like that. Okay, now I'm ready to do the segmentation process. Okay, select polygonal selection here, and just draw some polygons that capture your table as best as you can, of course. Make sure the blue points there are not included. Good. Some more. And make sure this chair is also not included. Perfect. And once you've finished, right click to finish your drawing of the polygon, and then select this red button here, segment in, which will select all the points inside your table. And now what you see is just the flat area of your table. And check, confirm your segmentation. And then once again, we only have our final table. Okay, we can rotate this table. And as you can see, we have some points that were also selected here, which we can remove. So if you want to remove that, we can either use the cross section, and we're going to just make this area a bit smaller. Okay, and this is okay. And once we did the cross section, we're going to export this selection again as a new point cloud. So CloudCompare works as stacking multiple point clouds on top of each other, and you can always return to the previous point cloud if you make a mistake. So just make sure you save your work. Okay, this is finished. Took around 4 seconds. And now we're going to deselect the previous one and just keep the new selection right here. Okay, and this is our table now. This is our final table, which we can use to calculate the area and the diameter of our table. I'm just going to make it in the middle. As you can see, we have like a target here on the table, some plate with some chocolate, let's hope, and some cups, yeah, that we added. And that's it. This is our table. Now what I want you to show is what you can actually do in this software, which is pretty cool, is to measure the diameter of the table. Not the diameter, the perimeter, not the diameter. So how we can do that is, yes, we can save this later. First, for one option to do that is to go to the menu point picking, which is in the tools, point picking. And this opens up a new menu on the upper right corner where you can select points. You can select only one point and display its information. In this way, you click on a random point in the point cloud, and it gives you its X, Y, and Z coordinate and the intensity and the reflectivity of the point. If you want, you can also calculate distances between 2 points, let's say. If you want to calculate the diameter, not the diameter, sorry, the perimeter of your table, then we can click one point on the edge and another point on the edge. So if you want to end the process, we end this with X. Let's do this once more. Point picking, go to the second tool, select 2 points and display segment information, the length between 2 points. And we're just going to do an approximate measurement of the perimeter of the table. Diameter, not perimeter, sorry. So the distance of this table is 1 meter and 8 centimeters. And I know it's true because I measured it this morning, actually. So these are some amazing features that you can do with the point cloud processing software. Okay, this is one option. And to calculate the area, how you could do is you could take the radius, you could approximate the center point of your point cloud by making 2 lines in the middle of the table, and then calculating the radius from the center point, or just halving the diameter up, let's say. Pick this point, pick another point, 0.8 divided by 2 times p, and this is squared. So that would be the area of your table, how to calculate it. You can use just a calculator to do it. It's faster. This is one thing. All right. So we finished with cutting out the table from the point cloud. And then the last thing will be to cut out the pipe from the point cloud. And this I will show you in the next video. Okay. And make sure to export this table also. So you can always come back to this work that you finished. So how to export it? We can also rename it. First, we double click it, rename it to table, and then we click on File and Save. And we are going to save this table as a last cloud file. All right. We keep the original resolution, and this is it. This is our beautifully scanned table, which we can use. Yes, perfect. So see you in the next video.